Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Wolfenstein The New Order. I'm Mysterious JG, and I actually took quite a break. Well, I mean like a week and change, but I took a big break really after completing level 1 Death's Head Compound on screen for you guys and your enjoyment. Because what was happening was this. I started playing this game. I had been like recording a bunch of Mass Effect 3 all in one shot and uploading them one video at a time. I still realized, I'm just getting way ahead of what people are seeing, and some people don't like that because they want to be able to have you actually respond to their comments in the very next video, which is not going to be possible for that LP anyway. But I thought I need to put the brakes on my Mass Effect 3 recording because I really don't like putting out, generally speaking, huge numbers of videos in a single day because it's hard for people to keep watching, keep up. So I started playing this game, and I'm just going to blow the heck out of you, but the same thing started to happen. I had like one play session of this game, and I started really getting into it because I had basically, like I think I'd mentioned, I played a little bit off screen, but like getting to Act 2 Asylum was about as far as I'd ever gotten in my off screening before I started LPing it. And I was into the game, I was having fun, and I was like, no, slow it up because these first-person shooter type games are not my genre by any stretch. So I was like, I don't know if people are gonna be frustrated that I'm doing it wrong. I don't know if people are gonna want to like advise me on who to save, all whatever. And I also just figured, hey, I should probably actually play this game off screen and get a little better at it. And the big thing was the perks. I was like trying specifically to do stuff to get perks, and I'm like, this probably isn't that much fun to watch. So I went ahead and played off screen, and in our first video, we rescued Fergus and let Wyatt die. Well, off screen, I rescued Wyatt and let Fergus die and played through the game, basically. There's a lot of stuff. Oops, spoilers. There's a lot of stuff that is shared between the two. Basically, everything is shared between the two in terms of items you can acquire, except that Wyatt's timeline features armor upgrades, and Fergus's features health upgrades. So by going through off-screen and completing Wyatt's whole chapter or story, I've got all the armor upgrades, which means that when we pick up armor drops in this game, they are going to be for twice the armor value they would be by default. So it should be relatively easy to keep our armor maxed out or close to it. It also means that in some chapters, I will, like in Asylum, I didn't manage to get an Enigma code or a letter. The Enigma codes I've decided I don't care about because there's a ton of them to collect, and what they basically do is you collect them all. It makes it makes alternate game modes available, but these alternate game modes are basically just extra challenge, higher difficulty, whatever, and I don't care that much because I'm not actually planning to go through it all yet again. So I've already played through the whole game as Wyatt, and that is why having rescued Wyatt. So I don't care about the Enigma codes. I don't care about the gold because those are just item drops. I gotten all the concept art and characters, and I don't know that you can actually play through the game successfully without getting them. They just, as you encounter different enemies, they pop up. As you encounter different plot characters, they pop up. What I'm going to try to make sure I get all of are the letters, because they actually add some flavor. I think I've gotten all the records. So there's a couple of letters I didn't get the letter from the Asylum stage. Will be coming up later on a stage that is at a camp. So we'll have some, s'mores and stuff, and we need to look for a letter that I missed. I missed a letter in the sort of the obligatory wandering around underground stage, and I think that's it. I think I got all the other letters. Letters, we got letters, we got lots and lots of letters. Letters. Anyway, by getting back to it, we're playing through with Fergus's timeline. Oh, and the other reason I wanted to play through this whole thing off screen is I can jump in, and at the end of the LP, after we finish the whole game, I can just do maybe one video where I show a handful of things that are different on Wyatt's timeline. I happen to know that you know, we will eventually be encountering other people, because you know we know now that our main character John Cena wakes up in an asylum after the Nazis have taken over. And you know, spoilers I guess, but the overarching plot of the game is him meeting up with others and trying to fight the Nazis. So the characters you meet with, I happen to know that there is a different sort of background, comic relief almost, resistance member for Wyatt's timeline and for Fergus's timeline. The main characters are exactly the same, and then Wyatt or Fergus will be part of, you know, the resistance, shockingly. And there's at least one speech Wyatt makes where he makes reference to the fact that he's alive and Fergus isn't. That one, I'm gonna try to remember where that popped up and get that. I'm gonna get any fairly talky scenes involving the character who only appears if Wyatt survives. But other than that, 99% of what Wyatt says, I think it's just gonna be very similar to what Fergus says, because it's mostly like plot functionalities kind of stuff. So the two stories are, I'm thinking are almost identical, but I won't know for sure until I play through Fergus's timeline. There might be more differences than I thought. So, having wasted a lot of time up front, let's finally get this thing rolling with Fergus's timeline, and we're going to play Asylum, and we're going to go on the normal difficulty. And a little refresher, we got stuck in the back of the head. We're going to skip the movie. We get wheeled around an insane asylum. There's a girl telling us how long she's been waiting for us. This is all stuff we saw in the last video. She just seems so happy that we're alive. Pato. Pato, man, pato. Orle Nazis, orle pato. So yeah, we've seen all this. I'm trying to hit the buttons to skip past it, but it's not letting me. Because I skipped past us getting knocked out of the castle and landing in the water. Why is it not letting me skip this? I'm a little surprised. Anyway, you saw it last time. It turns out the Nazis are assholes. Go figure. They consider the people who are being cared for here as Untermensch. They're, you know, inferior because they're mentally disabled or physically disabled. I think everyone here is supposed to be mentally disabled. So, you know, they are a threat to the purity of the master race and all that kind of stuff. The Nazis just weren't good guys. It is not wanting to let me skip this. It was a nice little cinema sequence, but we already saw it. Anyway. This we can't skip because it's actually something where we have to do inputs. But as you can see briefly, I did all the perks off screen, so that most of them don't give you anything particularly great. I guess my playthrough will be a little easier than it was off camera because I'll have, you know, increased assault rifle rocket storage and shotgun magazine size and stuff. But the main thing is I kept whichever perks I didn't have, I would like be trying to do the thing you need to do to get that perk, which meant sometimes I would be trying desperately to get 5 kills within 10 seconds using dual-wield rocket launchers, and it wasn't necessarily the correct tactic to use in any given situation, so I didn't want the LP itself to be like my tactics would be ruled by which perks I haven't gotten. With the exception of the demolition perks, everything kind of fell into place fairly normally. A few of the assault perks you really have to go out of your way to get them. Well, all of them you do. But there's a few where there's only a few spots in the game where it's plausible to get. The demolition perks. With demolition. Sorry, it's a tag team demolition. Now the demolition perks, there's a couple of these. I don't remember which ones offhand. Definitely the ones where you throw back grenades. catch the enemy's grenades and throw them back. A couple of these I did on uh, on the easiest difficulty level, the one where they show you wearing like a baby's bonnet with a pacifier in your mouth. Uh, because these soldiers tend to just shoot at you with guns. They don't throw grenades that often. There's not that much I found. There's a few spots in the game where the AI will use grenades specifically. And there's others where no matter how long you hang around, the enemies don't use grenades. So in order to actually get grenades to use against the enemy, in some cases, or just to find the types of enemies that you need to fight with grenades in the right numbers to get the different perks, I did those on the easy difficulty level just so that I could basically just absorb ridiculous hails of gunfire while waiting for a circumstance to pop up that would allow me to actually progress towards earning the perk. Everything else I got in normal difficulty.
Ihre Dienste werden nicht länger benötigt.
Hey, how you doing?
Kein Grund, mühselig zu werden, Doktor. Sie haben zufriedenstellende Arbeit geleistet.
You did a good job, Doctor, but we're going to kill your remaining patients. So you got to grab the knife. He pistol whipped a woman, having just shot a retarded person in the head. He gut shot a mom, then shot the dad through the face, then shot the mom through the head. So the nicest thing this guy has done is pistol whip a woman. And now he's coming for us, big guy. But we got him.
Nazi scum.
Okay, he's been having a tough day. Actually, it's probably his best day in a long time. He got to kill a Nazi. My legs are like jelly. My arms are like shit. Woo! Alrighty. We are in Poland. Location unknown. In my off-screening, I missed an Enigma code, a letter, and the health upgrade I would not have had an opportunity to get. I would have to be playing the Fergus timeline to get it. But basically, like I said, I don't care about the Enigma codes. Let's make sure we grab that letter and the health upgrade before we leave the stage. And this stage is short enough that I remember it. So I'm not worried about accidentally pushing past the point of no return and missing an upgrade. If that ever happens, and it's an upgrade that I can't bear to live without, I'll have to just off-screen my way back through the level using the chapter selector. So it's really not anything to be all that terribly worked up about. Now, is this a silenced pistol? Nope. But we have a silencer. We have a silencer because I earned one in the first stage. And although you don't necessarily start every stage with every weapon type you've come across before, the silencer is considered an alternate mode. Each weapon, except for knives, I think, has a secondary fire mode. And for this pistol, it's silenced. So you just, once you've unlocked that, you have it. As long as you have the weapon. You don't have to worry about actually finding a physical silencer. What the heck was that white flash? I don't know, but we've got Nazi officers. Because of the perk that we actually earned on screen, we can actually see where they are. I think we earned that one on screen. We can see where they are on the map, which is going to be important. Since we have a silenced pistol, it is nowhere near as important to get multiple knives for knife throwing compared to before, but still good. Now I am curious about something. Off screen, or not off screen, yeah, off screen, duh, I can't think. I was wondering about this. In my off-screen adventures in the other timeline, I unlocked the secondary fire mode for the assault rifle, which is rocket launcher. I shouldn't have that yet, but apparently you don't have to unlock it in each timeline, you just have to unlock it in the game. So, if things get dicey, we can use a rocket launcher, which I shouldn't have. The real problem, of course, is going to be that I won't remember precisely where I got each power-up. So I'll just have to guess when it's okay to start using rockets. So there is one signal that is no longer detected. Well, actually, I had this notion that he was downstairs. I was more worried about him than I was about this guy coming up. That was him right there, isn't it? Little overkill.
Shoot folks who can't defend themselves.
Of course, I'll shoot you guys without you seeing me. But you could have defended yourselves if you had seen. Never mind. I might be questioning his choice of words, but his logic is sound in that the Nazis, who were shooting mentally disabled people through the head in this video, kind of scummy. Also killed all the medical staff. Now, this doesn't make sense to me at all. They dragged Anya, dragged her off after killing her parents, because even though there must have been at least a second where they were considering murdering her, they were like, two of the Nazis were like, dude, we don't actually have orders to cleanse these guys, as they said. And one of the Nazis was basically, can't talk, don't know what's wrong with me today. Yeah, and then the Nazis were just like, okay, fine, take them back to, let's pass the buck, pass the mark on this, pass the Reich mark, and let somebody else make a decision. Which is good, because should they retroactively then lose the war, they're going to be able to use the I was only following orders defense. So it's good that they're getting in that mindset. But no, they were like, let's not murder Anya. Let's take her off and let the boss decide what to do with her. Apparently, all of these medical... Well, that was a patient, but this is medical personnel. This is medical personnel. They were all killed off screen for no reason that I can see. I'm getting just a bit worked up about this whole murdering medical patients thing. Just doesn't seem proper at all. Now the health upgrades, honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and try to find them all, but I'm not as worked up about them as I am with the armor. Because the armor, before I was getting any upgrades, I was finding it quite difficult to keep armor maxed. Health wasn't as big a deal, in part because when it gets knocked down by less than 20 points, it regens up to where it was. Armor doesn't do that, so if you got full armor and you just like get a glancing blow before you can hit cover and you get knocked down to like 97, then you're not going to have that wonderful feeling of perfect armor until you find a new armor pickup, and that's just so frustrating. Whereas if you just get hit with a little glancing blow, just a minor little shrapnel to the thigh or something, no big deal, in your health will go right back up to 100, and unless you're, taking meticulous notes, you don't even remember that your health went down. So yeah, belaboring this a bit, but it's not just the health pickup. I want to make... Yeah. Oh, you just kind of checked out my nakedness. That looks like might have been a pickable lock. Were we using the other guy's storyline? We are... Oh. Hey. She's enjoying this, I think. Yeah, and the other guy's storyline, we pick locks. I think in Fergus's, we will occasionally have an opportunity to hotwire things. But I do gotta find that letter. So, in stages where there is a letter I didn't already find, We are going to be taking our time a bit more, doing more of this. I hope it's not too irritating, like exploration of every square foot of the stage kind of deal. Let's get downstairs though, before I lose you guys completely. Had a helmet on. Part of me was convinced that wasn't going to work. Headshots on these guys still work even with the helmets. The Super Soldaten, we encountered one of them near the end of the first stage. They'll start popping up as a normal enemy eventually, and they cannot be taken out with just a headshot from a silenced pistol. It's very, very difficult to stealthily kill those guys. This, however, is just going lovely. I was afraid to stand at full height. Hey, here's a letter. Mystery man revealed by Matawese fisherman. Warsaw, August 27, 1946. A fishing boat today rescued a man floating on a piece of wood in the Baltic Sea. The man was taken to a hospital in Madawa, where his condition was stabilized. Doctors say the man has suffered extensive head trauma. And so on. Okay, so this is us. A little bit of our own backstory here. There's something flashing over here. Dr. Guy was awarded today by General Wilhelm Strasse for his services to the Reich in researching mental illnesses. The general noted in his speech the importance of the work carried on by Dr. Oliva and his peers. Without people like Dr. Oliva, society would grind to a halt. The lunatics would be running the asylum, he said to the amused crowd. Yeah, that Wilhelm Strasse, he's a real humanitarian. Oh. See, we didn't have any armor, so why was I hesitating to pick up that armor? Sometimes try not to pick up armor when we are at less than full, or when we're near full, because I don't want to waste it, but I don't think you can. Okay. Established by Dr. Liwa, the Zaktad Psychiatrian Zimatavas has been a haven for people suffering from mental afflictions. He was helped by General Wilhelm Strasse to get his business back on his feet. I would not be here today if it wasn't for General Strasse, said the doctor when greeting us in the asylum courtyard. This looks like a good place for a health boost. Okay, I was hoping maybe that was like the permanent health boost thing. Or not permanent, but the health boost that I'm looking for, the collectible, is armor upgrade, health upgrade. Health upgrade is going to mean that all health pickups are boosted by like 10%. And there's 10 of them that can be found, which means that if you have them all, health boosts are doubled. Getting all the armor and health boosts would make the game significantly easier, but for me it's just kind of fun to find and collect all the goodies. Ist your death, that's what ist is. Okay, you're just like hanging out right there. Just blind luck that you were not facing towards me when I wandered right into your area there. Okay, well somebody finally spotted me. Didn't matter too much. There's no officer down here to request reinforcements. I mean, any enemies that are still I haven't gotten yet or will now be alert to my presence and fighting me. But I think he was actually the last one that was here before, you know, we possibly do plot stuff to spawn more. Now I'm at the point where I'm afraid to advance things lest we lose the ability to come back. Because we haven't found this letter. It's it's not going to show up. Well, maybe it does show up on the map. There's a couple of question marks that we haven't encountered yet. That exclamation point, yellow exclamation point with a circle around it is the exit. That question mark that's sort of north of it is something we have to interact with in order to make the exit open. So the other question marks appear to be on the stairs. Is there something I missed on the stairs? Yes.
That's the exit. Motorized lock. Where does it open?
And it opens in that room over there that I'm pointing my gun at, but I'm not ready for that yet. I want to make sure we get this letter and this health upgrade. So this is turning into a longer video than maybe it should have been. Sadly. Grabbing lots of ammos for guns, that's nice and all, but head back up the stairs. That looked like it might have been something you can interact with, but in fact it was not. Sometimes the armor upgrades are in the same place at the health. Sorry, the health upgrades are at the same place the armor upgrades were at when you played as on the other timeline. Excuse me. Sometimes they're not. It doesn't really matter because I don't remember where the armor upgrade was when I played through here on the other timeline. Although now that I kind of wandered up those stairs, I'm thinking maybe they were connected to the stairs. And if you get to the other side of that blockage, there are there's a health upgrade, or there was an armor upgrade. Wherever these things are, they're at some corner that you're not obligated to explore to get out of here, probably. Because, you know, that's how they roll with these, oh man, there's a lot of stuff over here. That's how they roll with these, optional hidden extras. There's the Enigma code that we didn't get, rather that I didn't get before. Said I didn't care about that one, I still don't, but, you know, I guess it's just as well to find it. Yeah, no, I know the plan. I understand I'm not following your idea of the plan at this point, but see, that's just a regular health upgrade. I don't even know what the health, like the health boosting upgrade special la-di-da, you can only do it in the Fergus timeline things, look like. The armor upgrades look like a little picture. It's like a little action figure of a German. It's kind of weird. Oh, I should say an action figure of a Wehrmacht soldier. It's not like a it's not like somebody in traditional German dress or something. I have been through here already. Didn't put a whole lot of thought into how long it was going to take to hunt these treasures down, folks.